guys, we are going to start the chicken, the boiling process for the chicken for the green enchilada casserole. So here what I have is our chicken, and I'm going to put water just to cover it. Okay, and then we are going to add some garlic, some onion, some pepper, and some salt. Give it a little stir. We're going to bring it to the boil. We are going to skim off anything that comes to the top until it's cooked. So I'll be back after it's cooked and we'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, the chicken has been boiling for about 45 minutes. It's ready. I'm going to take it off and I'm going to transfer y'all to the counter. Okay guys, here we have the chicken that was ready, that was boiling. And what we're going to do is just real easy. We're just going to shred it with a fork. It doesn't have to be finely shredded. You can have a little substance in there, a little chunk. So we're going to do this to all the chicken, and then we are going to puree our sauce, the green sauce, the tomatillo salsa, and we're going to cheat a little bit today. Okay, we're going to have this here. We're going to set this aside, and we're going to start with the salsa. Okay, now for the salsa, like I said, we're going to cheat a little bit. I bought this can of tomatillo tomatoes. They're whole tomatoes. And I do have fresh, but I decided to try this out one day, and very, very tasty. We're going to throw out a little bit of the water from this. I'm going to throw it out here in the sink. And we're going to leave a little bit. And we're just going to pour it into our blender. And this is for quick meals. If you don't have time, what I'm adding here is sugar. If you don't have time to boil the fresh tomatoes yourself and all this, that, and the other, this is a real nice way to get ahead and save time. I will link these products below if I can find it for you. But it's readily available at my local H-E-B. So we're going to puree it. And this is what we're going to use for sauce for the casserole. So I'm just going to puree it until it's smooth. Okay, that should be good. We're going to set this aside, and we are going to go back to the stove, and we are going to saute our vegetables for the chicken and go on to the next step. I'll be right back. Okay guys, for the chicken and vegetables that we're going to saute, we're going to put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil into the skillet, which is already warmed up. And we are going to add some onion, some diced onion, and some diced celery. And to that, we are going to add a little bit of salt and some pepper. Okay, and we're just going to give this a stir and let it saute until the vegetables just tender. They don't need to be cooked all the way through because they're going to continue to cook in the oven. This has been sauteing for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes or so, and they are getting tender. And now we are going to add our garlic. And you don't want the garlic to brown at all because you don't want it to get bitter. Okay, we are going to add our chicken back into this. Just give it a little stir, and we're going to add some chicken broth in here so that all the flavors can incorporate. We're going to add a little bit more salt. And then of course you taste it at this point to make sure you're okay on your salt and pepper. Pepper I think we're good because I can see it in there. But salt I know we're going to need a little bit more. I'm going to give the chicken a taste. Okay, now we are going to add some of the chicken broth. The broth that we had after we cooked the chicken. Not too much, but a little bit at a time. And this will help the vegetables, the celery, break down a little bit more also. And you don't want the chicken dry. You want it a little, to maintain its moisture. And if you wanted to, guys, if this is an adult-only menu, you can add some chile serrano in here also if you like. Experiment. Do different things. I like to do that. A little bit more broth. And that's going to be it. I'm going to let this simmer for 10 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next step. And guys, I will list the recipe below like always, so don't worry about trying to get the quantities and everything that I put in here. I always list the recipes below, and if you can please leave a comment and let me know what would make it easier for you to get the recipe. Just let me know in the comments. Okay, we're gonna let this sit, and I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Okay guys, we have everything together here. We have our chicken, our tomatillo sauce, our Tostitos, our mozzarella cheese, and our sour cream. So now we're gonna layer our casserole dish. Now, my casserole dish is a small 8x8 pan. Like a lot of y'all know, I'm a small family. I don't eat that much food. So if you want to double or triple this recipe and make it in the 9x14, by all means do that, okay? But I'm just going to show you in this size so you can see what I do. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to spray the pan just slightly, just a little bit, so it doesn't stick, anything doesn't stick at the bottom, okay? And I'm going to show you what I do with this recipe. I take these hint of lime Tostitos. I tried this recipe one time. I made this up a long time ago. I was going to make the enchilada casserole and I didn't have any tortillas or any plain Tostitos, so I ended up using these and I love it. Ever since then, this is what I do. Okay, first we're going to put down a layer of Tostitos. Just break them. They don't have to be small. Just crush them like that. Okay, so we're just going to break the first layer up like that, and then we are going to put in some chicken. Let me get organized here. We're going to put in some chicken, and it's okay if it still has some broth in there. That's okay, because it ends up drying up in the oven. So you're just going to put this in layers. We have our layer of chicken, and it's still hot, and that's okay. So there's our chicken. Now we are going to put in some tomatillo sauce. And this recipe really, it comes together real quick. It seems like it takes a long time for me because I show y'all step by step. But really, this comes together really, really quick. And as you can see, there is what is the first layer of our green enchilada casserole. Now we just need our cheese. You sprinkle a little bit of cheese. Or you put as much as you want. You do what you like in your kitchen. So there it is. Now we're going to start again. Another layer of Tostitos. And this gives it a tangy flavor just like you would, you know, regular enchiladas verdes. And like I said, this was created only because I didn't have tortillas that day, which was a good thing, I guess. Okay, we're going to get our chicken. Another layer of chicken. Okay, now we put our salsa and our cheese. And for the last layer, okay, that's it for that. People like sour cream on their enchiladas, other people don't. I happen to like it, so I just put a little dollop all the way around. And this will melt down when you have it in the oven and it just becomes real creamy. So you put as little or as much as you want. That's totally up to you. Okay guys, and this is our green enchilada casserole. Okay, I'm going to pop it in the oven, 375, and I'll show you exactly and how much time it took. Everything is already cooked, so it just needs basically to warm up and come together. So it's going to take approximately 35 minutes. So I will be right back to show you all the finished product. Okay guys, the casserole is out of the oven. As you can see, it crusted up just a little bit. Some of the tortilla chips got a little color. And you can't really see on the side, but you can see where it's still kind of moist underneath. It doesn't dry up. And that's what I like about this. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. It's still very hot, but I'm going to go ahead and cut us a piece so you can see what it looks like. Of course, the first piece is always the hardest to get out and make it look pretty. Look at that, guys. Let me show you up close. You can see the layers of the chicken and the Tostitos, and this smells delicious. And you can see where the sour cream just gets creamy. It gets so creamy and it goes so well with these enchiladas. And then of course you use your favorite hot sauce, and I will leave a recipe linked up here in the eye in the sky for you. Let me show you this, how you can see this up close, and you can see that it's still moist. It doesn't dry up. And that's what I love about this recipe. Okay guys, that's going to conclude the video for today. I will leave all the information in the link below. As always, the recipe and items that I use for this. And I hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up if you did. Please subscribe to the channel. The button is right there, and turn on that notification bell so you can be ready every time I upload a video. Thank you for watching my videos, and I ask you to please share my videos on your social media. Okay guys, talk to y'all later. Bye.